It's a joke that a high school dropout loser like you would want to be coming to my wedding now, right? Sorry, but if you were serious about that, you're not allowed to come. Ray? What are you talking about right now? I understand that that's your wedding and all, but that also happens to be my older brother's wedding, and I plan to be there for him. He's already invited me to it himself and said that he has someone special there he'd like me to meet with. Now, the fact that you just started to call me a loser for being a high school dropout as well is a bit… Well, let's just say I don't like you calling me that, okay? So how about you leave me be and just ignore the fact that I'll be there with my brother's guests? Oh, you don't like that? Does it really matter, though, what a high school dropout loser likes and doesn't like? I'm sure you don't even understand those feelings you have anyway. Honestly, it's too crazy that someone in this day and age never graduated from high school even. I guess your parents really gave up on you, didn't they? I can't even begin to comprehend how the little sister of a doctor like Grayson ended up being you. It really makes me wonder what went through your parents' minds at the time. I can see you're having a ball there talking without getting any reactions from me. But Ray, you do realize that I am much older than you, right? I know that you're my brother's fiancé right now, but in terms of who's had more experience on this earth, it's me. So at the very least, you should just be a little bit more considerate of what all I've had to go through. And I mean that very seriously. We're supposed to become family pretty soon here once you've married Grayson, yet the way you're treating me right now leaves a lot to be desired. To be frank, I'm a bit worried about how things will play out for you. Great point. You are, in fact, 6 years older than me, right? And what I've heard is that you're that age, yet you still haven't gone back to get a GPD and are just running around freelancing and doing nothing else. Are you not embarrassed to be like that? Well, I never said that I'm a freelancer right now. I just got back to the US and will be here for a little bit, so since I haven't been having to work at all lately, I've been picking up some odd jobs to keep myself busy. And soon I'll be heading away again to go back to my actual job. Well, that all doesn't really matter to me anyway. All I really care to say here is that a lowlife like yourself will not fit in well at my wedding. How about you think about the kind of person you are before making your next move? I'm sure that even Grayson wants you to start thinking about who you are to everybody else more. You think he does? I'm not sure that's the case, but it was him who invited me out to his wedding in the first place. That was just him being kind, right? I'm sure that since he's your family, he thought that he had to do that, or else he'd be making himself look bad to the rest of the family, right? Grayson is just a really nice guy. I really don't think that's why he invited me. If it really is the case that you don't want me coming to your wedding at all, then… well, I guess I have no other choice, do I? But I'm going to talk with my brother about that first before I make my final choice. The whole reason I want to be at your wedding is for the sake of my brother and nobody else. Have you still not come around to realizing that my happiness only comes when Grayson is happy? Of course you haven't, because you're just an idiot who knows nothing at all. You say that you're older than me, yet I feel bad that your brain doesn't develop alongside the rest of you. This is the first time I've ever been slandered so much by another person who I barely even know. I can tell that talking with you isn't getting us anywhere, so I'll be going. I'll go and have a talk with my older brother, and then after that, I'll see what I decide to do. About your wedding, it's still all right if I come to it, right? I just had a talk with Ray, and she doesn't really seem to think too highly of me.
What? Why not? What all did she say to you as her reason why? And as for the wedding, it's meant for my family. So of course it's still alright that you come.
I've always noticed that Ray has had something against me, but recently it seems that her hatred towards me is only growing stronger and stronger. And I'm thinking that because she'll be married to you now, she wants to get rid of me entirely. It seems that she has this misconception of me, all because I'm a high school dropout.
Does she feel that way because you never ended up getting the equivalent of a high school diploma before working? I've already explained to her that you didn't go to school in the US, so the system was different. But I guess she's always said she understood me and never said anything bad about you.
Well, that's just the kind of person she is. She wants to make you happy, and she knows that making poor comments about me would upset you. If you think I'm going to get in the way of things at your wedding, I'm more than happy not to come. I'll celebrate with you in another way. How does that sound to you?
What are you talking about? Aren't you wanting to meet with the hospital's owner?
That's right. Fred's going to be there.
Well, of course he's going to be there, since he's my boss and wants to celebrate with me. You rarely ever get to come see me, so I wanted to make sure that the both of you could meet at my wedding. He already said to me that he's looking forward to it. It seems like he has a lot of things he'd like to ask and talk about with you.
Is that so? Then I guess there's no way I can miss out on that wedding of yours.
Everything Ray has been saying to you is just one big misconception of you. I'll make sure to go and set her out straight. Don't worry about her. I want you to be at my wedding, no matter what.
I wonder if Ray will really be willing to listen to what you say to her.
I'm sure it's not wrong for you to wonder that. Anyhow, I want you at my wedding. Not only as my little sister, but for the sake of meeting with my boss.
Understood. If you're asking me that much, then I guess there's no way I can say no. Then I'll see you on your wedding day. And while I'm there, I'll make sure to keep some distance from Ray as to not start anything that would ruin the day. I've actually been really looking forward to this wedding of yours. You found your seat, right? So if you're really wanting to stick around to watch the whole wedding, then that's the seat you're going to have to sit in. I think that seat is perfect for you. Ray, what is going on here exactly? From what I've seen, my seat is the only one outside the room you'll be having your wedding in. This has to be some kind of joke or prank, right? It's not some joke, though, and not a prank. Even the lady at the front desk was surprised when she realized the location of my seat. Are you not embarrassed to have done something as petty as this to me? Don't you think that this is a little bit too childish of a thing to do for someone your age? Say whatever you'd like about it, you high school dropout. I do not want someone like you getting in the way of my wedding with an elite doctor. And since you still could not understand what I wanted, I did the best I could to get you to understand that today. All of those warnings I gave to you, and yet you still came waltzing in here like there was no problems in sight. Really, aren't you embarrassed by the way you've been acting? I'm not ashamed at all of what I've done. But if that's all you still have to say to me, then my only option really is to leave this place. Are you okay with me not attending your wedding today? I want you out of here right now. An elite doctor doesn't need some kind of sad excuse for a little sister like you anymore when he'll have me now. But hey, can you at least thank me for getting a seat set up for you? Did you come to the wedding of two doctors in hopes of finding yourself a man? Excuse me? As far as I know, you're not a doctor, right? Only Grayson is. I'm sure you wouldn't be able to understand what that meant, being someone without a high school diploma. I work as a doctor's assistant in the hospital, and that means I have a history working as a doctor. Huh? I've made sure that you have a seat out in the hallway so that you can enjoy the sounds of our wedding if you want. Appreciate the fact that I'm even letting trash like you into the same building as two doctors' wedding.
Who do you think you are saying that to her?
What? That was just my brother, and it seems that the hospital's owner saw what you've been trying to do to me. Huh? The hospital's owner? Who are you talking about? I'm pretty sure you'll figure that out here pretty soon. Now I'll be going. Tell everyone that I was forced to go home by you. And I'll let my brother know that I'm leaving now too. I'm sure that you'll be regretting everything really quick here, but that's none of my concern now. Please enjoy whatever's going to be left of your wedding today. That's even if you can still have one. Willow, where are you right now? Answer your phone right now. No, just get back to my wedding. What's that? Why are you talking like nothing crazy just happened between you and I? I thought that we both came to the conclusion that I couldn't be at your wedding anymore after what you said and did to me. You think I really enjoyed having to look at my phone as you went off on me about not having a high school diploma and that I'm not good enough to be around my brother? I'm sorry, but that'll really hurt me and will not go away now just because you want me back there so badly. That's not what I'm talking about right now. Things have changed. So could you please come back here right now for me? I'll apologize for whatever I said to you earlier. It's too late for your apologies now, Ray. What? Why is it too late? Don't say things like that to me. You think you have the right to tell me when I can and cannot forgive you? After you just kicked me out of your wedding in such a way that even shocked my brother and the hospital's owner? Calling me a lowlife all because I never graduated from high school. You acted in such a way in front of people like Fred that even he no longer wants anything to do with you. And now my brother is pissed off at you for all of that, right? But Willow, I didn't think that old geezer would actually turn out to be Grayson's boss. What was that? Aren't you starting to work for the hospital as well now? Yet you still don't recognize the man that runs and owns the hospital? When I interviewed for my position, I never met with the owner. So of course I was never going to know about him. I give up then. You really wanted to work for a hospital like that with that kind of lacking enthusiasm? Well, it's not like that has anything to do with me now. And from what I've heard, it sounds like Fred has had enough of you as well. And my brother is very, very upset with you right now, is he not? What the hell is going on here? Why the hell do you, of all people, know Grayson's boss so well? Well, that's because I was part of the surgery team that went in and helped with Fred's brain surgery. You're lying, right? Then that means everything they were just talking about is true. You heard about this from Grayson? Or did Fred come up to you and explain his relationship to me? I don't really care who you heard it from, really. Just know that it's the truth. I know that you've been calling me a high school dropout loser all the time, but that right there is a very huge and upsetting misconception on your part. My brother never said anything to you about me being a loser for the path I've chosen, because the only thing he's told you is that since middle school, I've studied overseas. Wait, sure, I heard all of that from him, but that means your last bit of education within the States was from middle school, right? In other words, that means you never graduated from high school, right? Are you kidding me? You thought that just automatically meant I dropped out of high school and did nothing with my life? Why would I ever have a reason for doing that? After I came back from studying in Europe, I came back to the States and made sure to test for the licensing that I've needed. Which means you've never had the right to make fun of me or treat me like I'm worthless, like you've been doing this entire time. I'm sure it's too late to be learning about this now, though, right? If you did graduate from high school, then you could have been at the wedding had you just told me the truth. And had you just listened to what I was saying and listened to what my brother was saying, neither of us ever said that I dropped out of high school and never got a diploma or anything. You were the one that just chose to ignore the both of us and make up your own story for me so that you could make fun of me, right? I'm so sorry about that. Look, I just apologized to you, right? Right? So things are okay now, right? I had no idea, all right? I never thought that you, of all people, became a surgeon, a brain surgeon at that. Had I known that, then I would have never done any of those things to you. This was all just a misunderstanding on our parts, okay? Now, forgive me. The thing is, though, this isn't a problem where I can just forgive you and everything will go away, right? I am over dealing with someone as self-centered as you. I have nothing else that I want to talk with you about over the phone, and I sure do not want to see your face again. To tell you the truth, I'm happy you made this decision for us. Don't say something like that, please. You and I are supposed to become family now, right? I'll apologize for all the things I'd been making fun of you for before, okay? Let's just change the way we think of one another and have you come back to this wedding, okay? If you don't come back here soon, Grayson said he'll have this whole wedding canceled. The hospital's owner is already left and gone home. But as long as you come back here, I'm sure everything will be just fine. As sisters-in-law, let's both you and I start to behave well with one another, okay? Okay? No thanks. Why won't you come here? I am asking you with every ounce of my body here. It doesn't matter how much you beg me to come back. I don't care about you anymore. I like to think that this helped my brother finally come to an understanding of things as well. And he's going to rethink a lot of things now regarding him and you. What? Rethink things regarding him and I? What do you mean? He and I are already technically married, so there's nothing he needs to rethink now, right? There have been a lot of things about you that I've brought up to Grayson that I've said are very strange. And that's led to him hold off on handing in your marriage papers, all right? What? Huh? What are you talking about right now? This is the first time I'm hearing about this. So you're saying that Grayson is still not gone and handed in our marriage papers to the courthouse? But he and I are living with one another now. I'm pretty sure, knowing my brother, he's explained all of this to you once before. He's not the kind of person that you are, where he'd just go do everything without talking to anyone about it first. And from what he told me before today, he was going to hold off on handing in any of the official documents until after the wedding had finished and he got a proper read of you. What? He talked about something like that? Grayson's told me that a lot of the times that he comes up to talk with you, you just sit there on your phone and never even look him in the eyes. Is that true? Perhaps that's the reason you never hear about anything he says to you about the more important things in your relationship. He found the way you behaved rather strange and, quite frankly, rude. And it was because of the way you acted with him that he wanted to wait and see what happened at the wedding. What do you think about giving up on marrying him now? Huh? You think I should just give up now? We're already at our wedding now, so there's no way we can say that. The fact that you're trying to ruin our marriage now is just the worst. I don't think I'm getting in the way of your marriage to Grayson. It's just that after all the things you've done, your best bet is to stop thinking about becoming Grayson's wife. By the way, you're the only one to blame for all of this. But there's no way our marriage is not going to happen, right? I've already gone and told everyone that I'm going to become the wife of a doctor. If I'm embarrassed this badly by you all, then my parents will be finally forced to disown me. If you're embarrassed? So you're not already embarrassed by everything you've done today? I guess you just don't get it, do you? Today you went and embarrassed your fiancé, Grayson. It wouldn't really matter if it was the other way around, since you're neither a doctor nor someone with a lot of worth. But my brother Grayson, he's the head doctor of that hospital and has a lot of people that rely on him and his image. Yet now everyone knows about how his bride went and did something terrible in front of his boss, in front of that hospital's owner. Do you still plan to embarrass my brother more or something? I told you I didn't know he was the owner of the hospital. If I'm not able to marry Grayson, then I'm going to be in huge trouble, okay? We already work within the same hospital, so things would sour there. And I've already went and bragged about how I'm going to become a doctor's wife to everyone. And like I was saying, you're not even married to him yet. I think this just goes to show that you have less common sense than most high school dropouts do. Anyways, making fun of me for being one when A, I never was one, and B, you're much worse than one. Now how about you stop trying to keep things going with Grayson before you embarrass him even more? But I will not allow this wedding and our marriage to not happen. You and the owner of the hospital have nothing to do with our marriage, right? This marriage is just between Grayson and I. If you really think that this marriage is going to end now, then it has to happen at the hands of Grayson himself. And if he really does choose to do that, then I'm going to get a settlement from him for ruining my life. What's that? A settlement? Absolutely. I've had to go through all this hell, and I shouldn't have had to go through any more because of my own fiancé, right? And if this wedding is really canceled and Grayson calls off the plans of marrying me, I'll have every right of getting one. And I'm getting it from you because of all the crap you've done to me that caused this. I knew it. I knew something like this might end up happening with someone as dumb as you. Ray, this pretty much means that you've not learned one thing about what you've done wrong today then, right? I I haven't done anything wrong. I get that I just apologized to you, but that was just a lie on my part to try and get you to come back here. Yet you're still not coming back, and because that's going to cause this wedding to be canceled, I'm going to make you pay for the damages. Make sure you pay me every single penny I ask for. I think that my brother and I wouldn't have any issues paying you a settlement, but it's not going to be him or I that have to pay a settlement, but you, right? Huh? What are you talking about? Why do you think that I'd have to pay for anything? I'm the one that's about to lose my wedding and marriage. I'm going to get my money from you both. And then after that, you will be going to my parents apologizing for what you've done to me. You're the one who should be apologizing, though. Is this some kind of a childish joke? What do you mean by that? Man, people like you, Ray. You really thought that you could get this far without someone learning about how you've cheated on my brother and stolen money from his wallet? What? Hold on a second. What was that? Stop trying to make up lies about me now, all right? I'm going to sue you for trying to defame me next if you keep that up, you frickin' lowlife. If I'm a lowlife, then what does that make you? Are you considered a monster or something, or are you worse than a simple monster? My brother has known for a while now that you've probably been with someone besides him. But we were both hoping that with the wedding coming up, you'd stop going out with that other man. My brother's been told a lot lately that he's getting older now and should be getting married soon. So he didn't want to have to break up with you and find someone else and took his chances. I haven't been cheating on him. Wasting your time telling that to me won't get you anywhere. All I'm saying is that my brother knows about what you've been up to, so you should talk with him about your predicament now. That also means that you have no right to a settlement from him since you've been with another man while dating him and have been stealing his money. If anything, he has the right to get a settlement from you if he wants to do so. Sure, he and I might have been trying our best to not worry about what you were up to while engaged, but today you show that there's really no point in being married to you, so now he can fight back and put you in the ground. I never stole anything from him either. I would never do any of those things. Like I said, there's no reason to be wasting your time telling me all those things, as I'm not the victim. You should be saying that to my brother, but it most likely won't do anything there either, since he's a whole lot smarter than you. It's funny to think about your way of thinking. This whole time, my brother's been taking good care of you while you've cheated on him and taken his money. Then come the day that we tell you we found out and that your chances of marrying him are gone, you want to get a settlement to sue? I think with the sloppily put together boat that you're in, you should stop trying to rock it so much. But Grayson never said anything to me about how he knew all along. That's because my brother is very kind and was still in love with you even though you were actively harming him. What? So he was in love with me that whole time? I never wanted to have him leave me. But now it's too late to try and win him back. Is it too late? It's very late now. I'm happy to hear that you finally started to realize that, but you've already gone and taken things way too far with all of this. So I'm not really sure what will happen to you next. I just think that if you go out looking for another man as nice as my brother, you're going to be looking for a needle in a haystack. Now, I have to go. From now on, you'd better stop making things up about other people's education just so that you can pick on them all you want.
I'm sorry about what happened a few days ago. Things got really crazy then. I think I can get in touch with my boss and set up a dinner for us to all go to and have the talk he'd been wanting to have.
I'm fine after all that, but can the same be said for you, Grayson? Have things between you and Ray really calmed down at all since then?
Ray finally got around to realizing all the wrongs she'd committed, and even came to me apologizing for them all.
What? Ray can actually do something as adult-like as that?
But I made it very clear to her that something like marriage between her and I could never happen. So I told her to leave me. And I told her I would not be getting a settlement from her.
Is that so? Well, that sounds like something only someone as kind as you could do.
I'm really thankful that you helped me realize all the horrible things about Ray there last minute. The next time you make a trip back to the States, I'd love to have you come and work for us.
I'm still unsure about moving back to the States long term, though. Grayson, for the time being, please take care of yourself. Make sure that you don't end up being used by someone again because of your kindness.
I know. I think I'm going to be putting most of my focus into my work again.
I'm going to start doing the same thing. Then, let's both do our best. Have a great time back at work, Dr. Grayson. See you then. In the end, any talks about still getting married vanished, and that job Ray had only started working in the hospital was ended as well. Surprisingly, Ray actually learned her lesson after all of that and has gone over to my mom and dad's house plenty of times now to show them just how sorry she is. I think she's finally starting to see just how nice and rare of a man my brother is. And that's why every time she comes over to their house apologizing, she asks them about him and if he'd ever be willing to take her back. But of course that is never going to be happening, as my brother is completely ignoring her now, just like I had been wanting him to do all along. I've heard that after the wedding failed and Ray had to leave Grayson's house, her parents both did exactly as she was saying they'd do and disowned her. They didn't do it because she couldn't get married to a doctor, though, but because of the fact that she had done so many terrible things to him and I, even though they scolded her plenty back when she was in high school for acting that way with men. I'm not sure what she's going to do with her life now, but considering that my brother never forced her to pay him a settlement or anything, that man she cheated on him with should still be around, right? Maybe it's time she went and married him instead, since she thought that he was worth cheating on a doctor for in the first place. As for myself and Fred, the owner of that hospital, we did go out for dinner with my brother before I left, but after being asked if I'd like to come and work at his hospital again, I had to explain to him that it wasn't going to happen yet. You see, I have this man that I met in Europe, and things have been going so well between us that I might just stay there for the rest of my life with him. But I haven't explained that to anyone in my family yet because I want to make sure he's really the right man for me, so that we can avoid another incident like this last one. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story. You know, I was thinking about you today. Once I pass this test and get into this pre-med program, it will be clearer than ever how different you and I are. Honestly, I was seriously mad when I found out my dad was marrying a loser high school dropout like you. Ever since the day I first met you, I could tell that you and I were just not at all in the same league. And now I can finally say that you do not deserve to be in the same family, the same house, or even the same country as me and my dad. Get out of our house right now. Oh, today was your big test, wasn't it? You seem like you're in as good of a mood as you ever are. Can I take that to mean that you're confident about how well you performed? You got that right. I finished that stupid test faster than any of the other morons in the room. It was way easier than I thought it would be. Like, I was even kind of disappointed. But not even half as disappointed as I am that my dad married you. I've been waiting for the day when I could finally tell you exactly how I feel about you. And now that day has come. A low IQ loser like you has no right to marry my dad or call yourself my mom. I've been doing plenty of waiting myself, Luna. I've been waiting for the day when you would finally calm down and accept that your dad and I wanted to be together. But now I'm afraid that day may never come. Are you kidding? Of course it's never going to come. I have never for 1 second thought of you as anything other than a free maid service. God knows my dad isn't going to do any of the housework. And since I was busy studying for my test, I haven't had any free time at all lately either. And with you around, the house stayed clean, so I kept my mouth shut. But guess what? I just finished taking my test, so I'll have a ton of free time to wash the dishes or whatever. So I'm happy to announce that we don't need you anymore. I can take care of myself just fine. Wow, Luna, I had no idea you felt so strongly about me. I mean, you've always been pretty short with me, and the way you spoke to me always gave me the idea that you weren't too fond of me. But to say I was nothing more than a free maid service for you? I know I'm not perfect, but I'll have you know that I was doing my best to support you. I was hoping that one day you might even start calling me Mom. Oh my God, no! Don't hold your breath for that. You want to be my mom? Tell you what, how about you go and get admitted into a college as prestigious as the one I'm about to go to? If you can do that, then I'll call you whatever you want. I see you're still held up on the idea of having a college education. I can assure you that there are many more important things in life than educational attainment. I really hope that you can come to understand that. If you can learn to focus on the most important things, then you're far more likely to live the best life possible. Huh? What are you rambling on about? I already know how to live my best life possible. I literally have a 5-year plan. And everything is going just how I wanted it to go. Really, the only super important step in the plan was passing this test and getting admitted to the pre-med program. And now that I've done that, the rest is going to be super easy. Well, I'm glad you have a plan for your life. I'm also glad to see that you've chosen a wonderful path in life. Being a doctor is an incredibly important and rewarding profession. You'll have the ability to help people who are in need. You could even save a person's life. Wouldn't that be incredible? What are you talking about? You think that's why I wanted to get into this pre-med program? You mean it's not? No, you idiot! Get real! You think I want to spend all my time around sick people? Yuck. What if one of them coughs or bleeds all over me? That could get me sick, and I'll take a hard pass on that. I'm not sure what you mean, Luna. You're saying that you aren't going to become a doctor to help people in need? No. What's with you, Carly? What do you think I am, some kind of saint? I don't care about a bunch of coughing, bleeding, puking, screaming, crying, sick and injured people. There is only one thing in this world that I care about. Me. All I want out of college is to get married to an elite guy who's going to go on to become rich and influential. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life working like some kind of corporate drone. Even if I did want to work, it definitely wouldn't be with sick people. No, I just want to marry a rich man. He'll give me all the money I want to buy clothes and shoes. He'll take me on expensive trips to exotic locations all around the world. That's my dream. I see. Well, that's quite the dream you have, Luna. I don't know how good of an idea it's going to be, considering how expensive the pre-med program you're applying to is. It's just like any other investment. Some people invest in stocks, some people invest in real estate, and some people invest in cryptocurrency. I'm going to invest in something that'll have a way better payoff. All I need to do is pretty myself up every class, find the guy who looks the most promising, and use my feminine charm on him. Then we'll get married and he'll pay off whatever debt I build up while in school and have tons of money left over. That's the kind of life my dad would want me to have. He wouldn't want me wasting away the best years of my life studying, working, slaving away just to bring home an average income. So that's the plan you talked about earlier? You're just going to marry a guy and have him take care of you? I can't believe you actually thought I wanted to work. You're such a moron. Your problem is that you're thinking like a low IQ high school dropout. You and I aren't even close to being on the same level, and don't you forget that. Now, for the last time, divorce my dad and get out of our house and our lives. We don't need you now, and we never will. So pack up your stuff and be gone by tomorrow morning. Actually, you know what? Don't pack up your stuff. I'll just throw it all down to the curb for you. So you can just go straight from your office to some homeless shelter or something, because you are never setting foot in this house again. Luna, I feel like I should warn you that you are making a tremendous mistake. Are you sure you want to do this? Once you kick me out of your life, there is no way you'll ever be able to bring me back in. Oh, I am 100% sure. And my dad will be happier this way too. Like, why would he even want to stay with a dumb old woman like you? With you out of the way, he can date younger and prettier women. Okay then, Luna. Have it your way. Hello there, Carly. How are things? Have you recovered from the shock of me getting you kicked out of the house? Have you adjusted to the harsh realities of being homeless? Wow, I didn't expect to hear from you, Luna. I was under the impression that you never wanted to speak to me again. Why are you texting me even after your big plan to kick me out succeeded? Aw, are you sad that I ruined your life? Are you gonna cry now? I'm actually quite busy at the moment, Luna. If you have something to say to me, I'd appreciate if you could make it quick. Oh yeah, you are definitely crying right now. Anyway, would you like to know what I just found out? I passed the entrance exam for the pre-med program. Dad was so happy for me when I told him. He just about started crying. And you know what that means? Now it's official. I am going to live a way different life than you. Like, it's going to be so different, you wouldn't even be able to comprehend it. Wow, that's excellent. I'm glad you're one step closer to making your dream come true, Luna. I do have one question for you, though. This isn't any of my concern anymore, but I am curious. How are you planning on paying for your tuition? Is your dad going to be able to help you out with that? What kind of question is that? Yeah, he's going to help me. He's going to pay for the whole thing. Is that so? Well, if that's the case, then that's great news. Oh no, don't tell me. Did you ask me that expecting that I wouldn't have a plan for paying my tuition? Like you thought I would overlook such an important detail? Oh my God, you are pathetic. Sorry, Carly, but unlike you, I actually have a functioning brain. You're so lame, seriously. I was only asking out of curiosity. You say you're fine, so that answers my question. Anyway, since we're not family anymore, I would appreciate it if you could stop sending me messages like this. This is hilarious. You're so jealous that I'm gonna have a way better life than you. I'm glad I texted you, Carly. I needed a good laugh after doing nothing but studying all day for the last year while preparing for the admissions test. Anyway, I'll let you go. I wouldn't want you to lose your spot in line at the soup kitchen. Bye-bye, Carly. I look forward to seeing your obituary. Bye, Luna. I hope things go as well for you as you hope.
Yo, Carly, what's up, babe? Everything good? I was wondering, you want to go out on a date or something one of these days? I miss my girl.
I'd love that. I miss seeing you every day, too. By the way, how has Luna been since we divorced?
That kid? Well, considering I divorced you for her and had to go back to living on my own, I'm not really interested in doing anything else for her. Like, I barely even respond to her texts anymore. I had a kid at the cafe I stopped at the other day teach me how to disable notifications for her number.
You know what, Kent? You are one interesting guy. You have this odd combination of being willing to make massive sacrifices for your daughter and then not giving her the time of day.
Yeah, I mean, what else could I do? I knew from the very start that she would be against me getting remarried. I thought that once she got used to it, she'd chill out and stop being such a buzzkill, but boy, was I wrong. And I was never really all that big into the whole institution of marriage anyway. If me divorcing you means she's satisfied, I'm satisfied, and you're satisfied, then everybody's happy, right?
Yeah, I suppose it's working out well enough for all of us so far. But are you sure you're okay with going no contact with your own daughter?
Man, that girl never gave me the respect she should have. Like, you should have heard the way she was talking when talking me into divorcing you. She was all like, think about it, Dad, you'll be free to date younger and prettier women. I mean, it's like she doesn't even know me. There's only one lovebird who can tame this free spirit, and that's you, Carly.
We really were made for each other, weren't we? That's why I had no issue agreeing to have a nice and clean divorce with you just like she wanted. I know our relationship is stronger than any piece of paper.
And we're still seeing each other at least once a week. So yeah, if that's what she thinks of me, then I'll say that this is me fulfilling the last of my duties to her as her father. She's already 18 and she'll be going to college soon, so she can support herself from now on. Divorcing you was the last request that I'll ever take from her.
I'm just kind of surprised that you're so easygoing about this. Even you, easily the most easygoing man I've ever met. I mean, I'm on the same page as you and was never all that caught up in the idea of a legal marriage. Plus, right from the start, I wasn't concerned at all with what Luna thought of us being together, but you're still her father. I guess it's hard for me to believe you'd be okay with cutting her off like that.
Well, I mean, think about it. I never had things as good as they were when I was living with you. Being around you all the time was really fun, and I gave up all of that for her. If that's not enough to satisfy her, then she's just being way too greedy.
All right, if you say so. So what are your plans for what you'll do here on out?
Well, I terminated my lease, so the next thing I'm gonna do is look for a plot of land out in the woods somewhere. I'm finally gonna make my dream come true. I'm gonna live off the land, grow my own food, and be self-sufficient. Since I'm not living with you anymore, that means I'm free to live wherever and do whatever I want, right?
That's so like you, Kent. And yeah, you're right, living with me must have been a bit cramped for you. We had to live somewhere that was within a reasonable commute of my office.
Right? I was like an animal trapped in a cage. A nice cage, mind you, but a cage nonetheless. Plus, you know that I've never been what you'd call a high-income individual, right? I basically just work whatever job sounds the most interesting to me any given week. Which, while exciting, isn't exactly the most stable lifestyle for supporting a daughter. Her whole divorce her daddy thing actually came at a pretty good time when I think about it. She'll be leaving home, so that means I'm free of any responsibilities to her. I've got nothing to tie me down anymore.
Yeah, about that. I just heard she passed the test and got accepted into that pre-med program. You must be happy, but what are you going to do about that?
Oh yeah, the test thing. You were probably way happier than me to hear about that. You always wanted to do something to help out sick people. It's a real bummer that you never got to become a doctor yourself like you wanted. But you do a lot to help out others in any way that you can. And now my girl Luna is gonna help you make your dream come true for real. Isn't that great?
Yeah, sure, Kent, real great. But what is she going to do about her tuition?
Her tuition? I don't know. I always assumed she would have figured out something for herself by now. I guess if we hadn't divorced, then you would have footed the whole bill for her yourself. But that possibility is flown out the window now. So if she was willing to kick out the person who was going to pay for her tuition, that must mean she has some kind of plan in mind. Like, I don't know, getting a part-time job while studying or something? I was never really concerned about that, seeing as though she's not my problem once she turns 18.
She actually does have a plan. It seems like she's expecting that you'll pay it for her.
Wait, what? She wants me to pay for her tuition? No siree, not a chance. Not gonna happen. I already told her that I couldn't pay for it. I was really clear to her that once she graduates high school, she's gonna have to take care of herself. Although, I don't know, she was staring pretty intently at her phone while I was talking to her. Maybe she didn't hear me? But in any case, it's not my problem. Besides, she should know better than anyone else that I don't have the kind of money to pay for tuition at a prestigious pre-med program like that.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, that clears up a lot. I was confused when she was telling me that earlier, but now I guess she was just under the wrong impression. Oh well, I'm certainly not going to pay for her tuition anymore, so she'll just have to work something out herself, like you say. I've told her as much myself.
You really think she would come to you for help in the first place, though? Like, that girl has never thought of you as a family member. The way she talks about you when you're not around, yikes! After all that, I really don't think she's gonna come crawling on her hands and knees to beg you for money.
Well, I certainly hope she won't. Anyway, I'm glad you and I are on the same page about how to deal with her. That means I have nothing to worry about.
So yeah, about that date, when are you free?
I'll check my schedule and get back to you. Do you think you can fit me into your busy schedule?
Let's see. I'm gonna go fishing this afternoon. Probably take a hike through the woods tomorrow. I'm swamped, but I can pencil you in somewhere.
Hey, what gives? I just talked to my dad, and he said he is not gonna pay my tuition. How did you pass that pre-med test if you can't even read basic English? I told you not to contact me anymore. Yeah, well, circumstances have changed. My dad was thrilled that I passed that test. He said he was proud of me. Why would he go all crazy like that if he wasn't going to pay for my tuition? Well, if I had to wager a guess, I'd say he was happy for you because you passed the test. Passing tests is a good thing, right? I don't see what the source of your confusion is. But just because he's happy for you doesn't mean he's going to pay for your tuition. If he wasn't going to pay, he should have said so sooner. Like, come to me, look me in the eyes, and say it explicitly, I'm not gonna pay for your tuition. And you knew about this too, didn't you? Why didn't you tell me? You suck, Carly. Everything sucks. I had no idea my dad didn't make enough money to pay for my tuition. Really? That seems like the sort of thing you should be able to tell at your age. But in any case, you should have known because he did tell you. He said he wasn't going to support you after you graduated high school, right? Maybe he said something to that effect. Yeah, and college is after high school, right? That means he's not going to support you in college. That is, he won't pay your tuition. Even if he wanted to, he doesn't have that kind of money. When he was talking to me, he was under the impression you would get a job and pay for everything yourself. He never told me that, though. Again, yes, he did, but that's not my problem. This is an issue between you and your dad. Leave me out of it. You're a big girl now. Go and take care of your own problems. I'm not done with you yet. He told me about you, too. He said you were way happier than he was about me getting into that pre-med program. It was just like you said the other day. You thought I was going to become a doctor and help sick people. Yes, and? Are we really going to rehash that conversation? I'm getting to the point. Give me a second, will you? After he talked about that, he started laughing, like harder than he's ever laughed before. I asked him what was so funny, and he told me that you were planning on paying for my tuition. And since I made him divorce you, that offer is now off the table. Is that true? Yep, all of it. I wanted to become a doctor when I was younger, but I dropped out of high school. On top of that, my family wasn't wealthy at all, so there was no way we would have been able to afford it anyway. That's why I was so happy when you started talking about going to med school and why I wanted to support you in any way I could. Because in spite of how much you hated me, I was still moved by the thought that you could help make my dream come true. So he was telling the truth. But how were you going to pay for it? You don't have any money. I'm only telling you this now because I'm no longer your stepmother, but Looks can be deceiving. I run my own company and I haven't looked in a while, but I believe my net assets are somewhere around $3 million.
What?
So yeah, I was more than willing and able to pay for your tuition, but alas, you insisted that your father and I get divorced. But not only that, you took the liberty of throwing away all my things before I could get back to the house and collect them. Combine that with all the insults you've been flinging in my direction lately, and I've changed my mind.
I don't believe it. You were really going to do that for me?
That's right. I knew your dad wouldn't be able to, so I thought I would help you out in his place. But not anymore. No, I think I'm going to donate what I would have paid for your tuition to a charitable organization. There's one I've worked with in the past that helps sick children.
You're serious, aren't you? If I hadn't gone and pushed my dad to divorce you, you would have paid for me to go to med school?
How many times are you going to ask me that question?
I'm in shock, okay?
I was in shock too at how viciously opposed you were to me marrying your father. Even before that, you hated the thought of us even having a good relationship. I remember whenever I hugged your father goodnight, you would immediately start throwing a fit.
And in spite of all that, you were still gonna pay? But, why? What is it with you and me becoming a doctor? Is it really just because you wanted to become one but couldn't?
There's a bit more to the story, actually. Back when I was in middle school, my little sister contracted a rare illness. There was treatment available, but it was experimental, incredibly expensive, and not covered by insurance. My parents couldn't afford it and couldn't find any organizations willing to help them out. So my sister didn't make it. My mom felt so guilty that she wasn't able to save her daughter's life that she fell into a deep depression. It was all too much for my father to deal with, so he abandoned us. That's why I dropped out of high school, because I had to work to support my mother and myself. My dream of becoming a doctor was gone before it even had a chance to begin.
Wow. That's crazy. So you didn't drop out of high school because you were too dumb to graduate?
In fairness, I never thought of myself as being naturally gifted or anything. I do, however, have an above-average work ethic. I used the money left over after paying the bills to study about running a business, and after a while I started my own. It grew and grew to the point that now I've amassed something of a small fortune for myself, and now I intend to use that money to help people who are sick and suffering. I can't be a doctor myself, and I'm too late to save my sister. But there are still things I can do to save lives, and to see to it that no family goes through what mine did ever again.
Well, if that's the case, then I have great news for you. There just so happens to be an aspiring pre-med student who needs help paying for her tuition.
And who might that be?
Me! I thought that was obvious. If you help me go to college, then I'll go on to help sick kids just like your sister in the future. That's what you want, right? Don't worry, Carly. I swear to you, I will make your dream come true.
You're a little too late to play Little Miss Altruism, Luna. You already spilled the beans to me, remember? You told me that all you wanted to do was marry a rich man. You don't want to help sick children. All you want is expensive clothes, shoes, and luxurious vacations. You said so yourself.
But that was before. Hearing your story has changed my heart. It's a miracle. I can't wait to get right into the hospital and start operating on all the sick kids I can get my hands on.
That's pretty creepy, actually. And also not going to work on me. I've learned a lot of lessons in my time, and one of them is that people never truly change. Do you have any idea how much trouble you caused for your dad? He's come to me so many times over the course of our relationship to apologize for your behavior. And now he even divorced me just to please you. But that was the straw that broke the camel's back. He loves you as your father, but he's also fed up with your awful attitude. He wanted me to tell you that divorcing me was his parting gift to you, and that I am no longer under any obligation to help you pay for college.
Wait, what? You mean my dad knew you were going to pay for my tuition and divorced you anyway?
That's right, Luna.
You have now successfully alienated the only two people in this world who would have lifted a finger to help you.
This can't be happening. This is going to ruin everything. Tell me, Carly, what do I have to do to get you to help me? Do you want me to apologize? I'll apologize to both you and my dad.
I don't need to hear any meaningless apologies from you. You have your 5-year plan, don't you? You'll just have to make it work yourself.
How, though?
How about the same way I did? Get a job. Anyway, I wanted to tell you that you were right about one thing. You are indeed going to live a way different life than me, and not in a good way. Luna did her very best to try and convince me to recommit to supporting her college education. I have no money to spend on some bratty teenager who's not my daughter or even stepdaughter. I kept refusing until eventually Luna realized she was out of luck and simply gave up. Not just on getting money from me, but on going to college altogether. There was no way she would be able to get the kind of money she needed by the start of the fall semester. So instead of spending her days in the classroom, she's spending them waiting tables at a local restaurant. After all the time I spent with her, though, I can honestly say that while she is a bit presumptuous, she's not a stupid girl by any means. I'm sure she'll find some way to make things work in the end. As for me, I decided that I would use my money to start up my own charitable organization. It's specifically geared for financially supporting the parents of sick children who need help paying for necessary medical treatment. I'm also starting a scholarship for people planning to go into pediatric medicine. And if Luna has a genuine change of heart, she's still more than welcome to apply.